Hi, my name is Abdul Nawaz, and today I'll be discussing the animated film Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and 2. Warning, spoilers up ahead. The film was adapted from the comic series The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. The comic series has been the inspiration for many DC productions. The most infamous of these adaptations, which we are all sadly familiar with, is the 2016 film Dawn of Justice. The most renowned adaptation, however, is today's topic of discussion. The story of The Dark Knight Returns takes place in an alternate universe, Earth 31, where the past two Robins, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, have passed away, hence the superheroes have become outlawed. Since the ban on superheroes, the Justice League, a self-appointed group of superheroes sworn to serve people of Earth, has been disbanded, and our beloved hero, Bruce, Batman, has been forced into retirement. However, there's still one superhero who has yet to retire, Superman. In this bleak world, Superman serves as a tool in Reagan's presidency to fight the Soviet Union, but we'll return to him later in the presentation. Today we'll be discussing Bruce Wayne from Dark Knight Returns. In this video, I'll be arguing that Bruce's most admirable qualities lead him down a destructive path. Batman has always been a hero the audience admires because of his drive and dedication, but these character traits aren't describing Batman, but rather the man behind the mask. Batman as a symbol has never been as interesting as the man behind the mask, Bruce Wayne. What draws the audience to the stories of Batman is Bruce's character, his dedication, his determination, and his love for his city. However, it's precisely these qualities about Bruce that torment him and imprison him into a life of misery. Before Bruce puts on his cowl once more in The Dark Knight Returns, the audience gets a glimpse into Bruce's psyche. Bruce Wayne's obsession. The first scene of the film begins with Bruce driving around a racetrack, behaving recklessly, pushing his car beyond its limits, beyond what's safe. This scene suggests that Bruce is seeking thrills because he is unfulfilled, perhaps due to a lack of family or friends. This scene lightly hints at a character flaw that the film more boldly points out in the next scene, Bruce's confinement within himself.
Nearly coinciding with Gordon's retirement, tonight also marks the 10th anniversary of the last sighting of the Batman. Most of our younger viewers now think of him as a myth. Many others still debate whether his one-man war on crime was right or wrong. But this reporter hopes that wherever he is, he's enjoying a toast with good friends.
To 10 years, and my finally joining you.
Alone. In the years Bruce served as Batman, his own self-isolation helped keep him focused, dedicated, and capable of meeting the challenges of being the Batman. Things people admired about Batman. However, these qualities, focus, which turned into obsession, and dedication, which turned into an inability to move on from his trauma and the life of Batman, continue to isolate him, preventing him from moving past his trauma and building a community of family and friends as Bruce Wayne, living as Bruce Wayne rather than the Batman. We get to see the manifestation of Bruce's obsession, previously admired as dedication, in the next few scenes, where Bruce's butler finds him in the Batcave, staring at Robin's costume, lamenting the tragedies in his life. Feeling compelled to don the mask of Batman. These clips clearly demonstrate how his most admired qualities now prevent him from leaving the life of being Batman behind, preventing him from living a happy life as Bruce Wayne. But donning the mask only spells disaster for our beloved hero. At the age of 55, Bruce has failed to recognize that although his drive and dedication is eternal, his body is still mortal. His love for his city, his obsession, is distorting his sense of judgment. There are a lot of drawbacks to being the Bat, the most obvious being the physical toll of being the Dark Knight. Most Batman films don't shy away from highlighting Bruce's mortality. In The Dark Knight Returns live-action film by Christopher Nolan, we learn that Bruce Wayne's knees have suffered irreversible stress from being Batman for 5 years. In Dawn of Justice, we see Bruce dislocate a shoulder while fighting a superpowered baddie. And in this film, the audience sees our beloved hero struggle against the mutant gang when he's way past his physical peak. His drive to protect his city is blinding him and compelling him to sacrifice himself for his city, thereby destroying him. But it's not just his body that suffers from Batman's return, but also his city. Batman's return revitalizes his arch-old nemesis, the Joker, and his followers. The film shows Joker in a vegetative state before he hears the return of the Batman.
It all comes down to this Batman fellow. His psychoerotic behavior is like a net, trapping weak-minded neurotics like Harvey, drawing them into corresponding intersecting patterns. You could say Batman creates his own enemies, committing the crimes using his so-called villains as narcissistic proxies. In other words, the real villain here is Batman.
Do not expect any further statements. The Sons of Batman do not make speeches. We act. Gotham City belongs to the Batman.
Batman, darling.
We see the Joker waking up from his vegetative state because he hears that the Batman has returned. The Joker was made to symbolize everything that Batman stands against: chaos, murder, and cynicism. The Joker has repeatedly exclaimed that he wants Batman to break his moral code, in doing so, admitting that the Joker is correct about humanity, that humans are cruel and beyond saving. In contrast, Batman's existence in itself demonstrates that any ordinary person can help one another, that people care. Following this trail of logic, we can understand why Joker returns with the reappearance of Batman, so he can dance the dance once more with his arch-old nemesis. Joker's reappearance harms both Bruce and his beloved city. In his return, Joker kills several dozens of civilians, mortally wounds Bruce, and frames Bruce for his death, destroying his image as a hero. This makes Bruce a nationwide target and leads to one of the most famous DC matchups ever: Batman versus Superman. This scene demonstrates how Bruce's commendable qualities, zeal, diligence, and devotion have become obsessive, and now how these qualities have cornered him into a do or die situation against the Man of Steel. Thank you for watching.